You guys are absolute pussies if you're smoking weed every single day thinking that you're tough. You clicked on this video for one of two reasons. Either you're coming on here to try and prove me wrong and try to validate to yourself why you can be a lazy ass motherfucker, or you're so addicted and you're so trapped in the vice that you want to smoke, you want to stop, you know you need to stop, but you genuinely can't sleep, can't eat, or can't even function without sparking up. Either way, I'm making this video because I wish a motherfucker would have told me this when I was 15, sparking up woods in the school parking lot thinking that I was the shit. Now, I smoked weed for about 5 years every single day, like 7 times a day. And it has been over 365 days since I have quit smoking weed cold turkey. My life has changed completely. I used to have every single excuse in the book, and I would genuinely smoke every single day. I'm talking before school, before work, before track practice, before wrestling practice, before I went to the gym, before I would eat, before I would sleep. Before I did anything, I needed to smoke. Genuinely, I would ride around in my car with my bong in my lap everywhere that I went. But it was all complete bullshit. I was being fed the lie and I was running with it. I literally used to say, I smoke because it helps my anxiety. It makes me feel better. It makes me feel like myself again. It helps my anxiety, the anxiety that I was bringing onto myself from smoking the weed. The anxiety isn't just something that you're cursed with. Anxiety comes from inaction. And when you're being a lazy ass motherfucker, I don't care if you think you have motion, you think that you're able to be productive while you're smoking, you're not. It is a lie. It is a lie. You are nothing compared to the level you could be at if you didn't smoke. I would tell everyone, it makes me feel normal. It makes me feel normal because I was smoking so much that that feeling became my new normal. And my biggest excuse was just like I said earlier, I could still operate and perform better than 99% of the people could. So I felt entitled. I thought I was one of the select few who deserved it, who was able to smoke and still get shit done. And I'll tell you right now, if you think that, it is bullshit. The level that you could be at if you stopped smoking is so much greater than whatever level you're operating on right now. And the reason why you have not changed at all and you're still the exact same person, or the changes that you have made have just been fucking backwards, is simply because you will not be honest with yourself and stop smoking weed. A few months into my personal development journey, I quit nicotine. I completely conquered a lot of my other vices, but smoking was the one thing that stayed with me. It was just the one thing that I couldn't get out of. I would always tell myself that I was gonna quit, and then I would end up back with the same friends that I would light up with, and I would smoke again. The smell of it, it was enticing. It made me want to smoke. And I always just kept thinking back to that first year of smoking when food was the most magical thing I had ever tasted and music just sounded magnificent. I remember the first time I smoked, I was paranoid around my parents, but music, I was hearing notes I didn't even know existed and like new instruments. It was crazy. And I always wanted to get back to that feeling, but I went down the trap. I became so antisocial. And maybe that's good, but not in the way that weed makes you be antisocial. It was without a doubt 1000% an addiction. And if you sit here and act like you can't get addicted to weed, yes, the fuck you can. Not chemically, but mentally, it is a reliance, 100%. Can't tell you how many nights I stayed up and I could not fall asleep and my brain was just like, you gotta smoke, you gotta smoke, you gotta smoke. It was chaos in my mind. I was fucking addicted. I would smoke even when I didn't wanna smoke and there was nothing I could do about it. I burnt out my dopamine completely. It got to the point where I didn't even clean my room. I didn't even clean out my car. Everything was just disgusting. And I didn't even realize it because anytime the slightest inconvenience would happen to me, I would just go smoke. I would smoke to cover up every problem that I could have faced. And I'll tell you, none of it changed until the one thing that I cared about most in my life started to be affected. I didn't care that I was failing my classes because I was smart and I could still take tests and ace them, but I wouldn't do any of my homework. I wouldn't work. I wouldn't study. The farther I went down the road of denial, I told everyone that this was the best thing for me. I was pain-free. It helped me become my true self. It helped me with everything. I was believing the lie, and I watched videos like this and I laughed. I was like, that's bullshit. You just don't understand. Like, you're smoking the wrong gas. Like, you got the wrong strain, but like, you don't understand. I didn't understand, okay? I didn't understand. If that's going through your brain right now, I'm telling you, bro, you're gonna look back and be like, fuck, where did it all go wrong? Where did it all go wrong? Stop buying into the hype. Stop buying into the hype. It is not worth it. You will make so much fucking progress. My physique exploded when I stopped smoking. And there's a bunch of bodybuilders that smoke. My physique fucking exploded because I'm on the path towards my fullest potential. I wake up at 4:25 every single morning. I had negative money in my bank account. I make over $10,000 a month online now. I live in my own apartment and I'm not even 20 years old. So much can change when you drop the vices. But it's not even about going and starting some business. That's not what I'm here to tell you about. You have to become the man that can be successful. And it starts by dropping every single vice. And nowadays, everyone is a pothead. And it's because everyone's smoking these fake ass carts. They're not even smoking flower anymore. That's all I used to smoke. I didn't hit carts like that. All you guys are fiends. You're banging wax carts that were literally created with pesticides in China. And you wonder why you can't get out of bed in the morning and why your head feels so foggy. Quit. Formulate a plan. Think about where you want to go with your life. I didn't even have goals because my mind was so dull. I had things that I wanted, but no plan of action to get there. And when it started corrupting my progress in the gym, that's when I knew everything had to change. I still remember the night where I was like, fuck this, I am done, and I have not smoked since. I got to the gym, I was taking a big ass bong rip, and I packed like 1.5 gram bowl, and you know, I was going in, I had already taken my pre-workout and everything because I would take my pre-workout and then I would smoke and I would go have, you know, what I thought was a crazy lift. Because, you know, that gas and pre-workout combination with the music, sometimes it's just great. But I was doing it every single time I worked out, and I didn't understand dopamine stacking. I didn't understand that, you know, the higher above baseline you go unnaturally, if there's not effort put in for that, the more you're going to drop into a trough. And then it takes a lot longer to get back up to that baseline level of dopamine. That's why you wake up and you feel like shit. You feel like your brain is a hole and it's just white noise buzzing every single morning and you can't get anything done. It's not because something is wrong with you. It's because you were fucking smoking. Stop lying to yourself. But anyways, I was in the car and, you know, I finished smoking. I was feeling good, and I went to grab my headphones and I turned around and I just saw how fucking messy my car was because I had developed so much bad habits that as soon as I would get home from the gym, I would literally leave my gym bag, my sweaty clothes in there. I would go inside, I would lay on my floor, and I would just start scrolling on TikTok. That's what it did to me. And I was never, ever like that before. That is who I had become. I turned around. I put my hand in my Anaka bag and my headphones weren't there. And that was the third time that week that I had left my headphones at home because I was so focused on smoking that I hadn't taken responsibility for anything that was mine. And it all just started to hit me. I started to think about where I was in life. I was in my junior year of high school and I hadn't accomplished anything. I had no money. I had all these goals. I thought that they were goals. I didn't know that if a goal doesn't have a plan of action, it's not even a goal, it's just a fucking desire. All these things, but I was like, oh, it'll come eventually. Like, it'll just come to me. You know, I know myself. There's no way I could just be broke and homeless. It'll come to me. But I just started thinking, you have accomplished nothing. Look at this fucking pigsty car that you're in. You've left your headphones for the third time this week. Who even are you? And I just started to overanalyze everything about myself. I was tweaking out. I drove home, I got home, and I just saw how disgustingly messy my room was. I was stepping over clothes, and I felt something was coming up inside of me. It wasn't even like I was paranoid because of the gas. I was paranoid because of what my life had come to and the fact that I was so blind to it. My workouts had started to become super shitty over the past few months, and my diet was awful. I was eating Zaxby's and like Kroger Chinese chicken every single fucking night. The times when I did eat, I had almost all failing grades in school, and I was working a shitty job at a sandwich shop. And I analyzed, all these people around me are losers and they all smoke weed. That is what we have in common. I saw the environment that I was in and I knew I had to change, and the common denominator to the environment was the weed. And once and for all, I decided I have to stop. I started taking cold showers every single morning. I have not missed. I started waking up early and I started working towards building my first business. Now, I've come a long way since I made that decision, but you have to make that decision and you have to quit. Every single thing will build off of that momentum of you proving to yourself that you have the willpower to quit. Learn how to track your macros. Learn how to work out without the weed if that's what you're doing. And if you don't work out, go to the fucking gym. That will be the number one thing that will keep you from going back to the weed. Develop a training program. Find someone to guide you down the path that you want to go on and actually take responsibility. Stop coming home and hiding in the weed every single day because you're too scared to formulate a plan and take action. I'm telling you, if you want your life to change, there is no more waiting. I don't care if your addiction is nicotine. I don't care if your addiction is alcohol. They are all fucking terrible for you. And I used to think the videos like this were hilarious. I was like, this guy doesn't know. This guy doesn't know, but I experienced it firsthand. I've woke up hungover so many nights with less money in my bank account and literally negative balances. I understand, and nothing but bad choices and decisions that I regretted. I've sold zips. I've smoked zips. I get it. I've done everything in the book. You have to change your life. You can't stop going down the path that you're going on. It's not just going to magically come to you. You're not just gonna have an idea one day and your life starts changing. You have to change now. You have to take action. Like, it's so serious. I wish somebody would have fucking grabbed me by the throat and told me this sooner, because I would have made even more progress than I've made now. But I was too fucking ignorant to believe what anyone else said. I was too trapped in my mind. I would always be like, no, I need to smoke. It's good for me. I need to smoke. I'm telling you, I'm making this video because I care. You have to quit smoking. I feel so clear. I wake up every single morning. I can actually think. I can open a book and read it and not my mind just instantly start sidetracking on every single thing else. I actually have my focus back. I used to pop 70 milligrams of Vyvanse and smoke on top of it just so I could go and take my SAT. And I was smart. I'm a good test taker. Really, really good. But I could not do any basic work. And I just thought it was because I thought it was stupid. No, I was fucking stupid because of the weed. I don't care what excuse you have. It is all bullshit. Be honest with yourself. Look yourself in the mirror and say, what have I accomplished? And think of where you could be if you quit. The reason your physique looks like shit is because your priorities are elsewhere. Okay, I'm not one of these Sam Sulek fanboys who is like, you can eat McDonald's all day long as you hit your macros. That is bullshit. They all live shitty lives. Their brains feel like they're about to explode because they don't know how to properly feed and fuel their body so that they can become a rare individual. I'm telling you guys, I'm not making this video for views. I'm making this video to impact someone. If one person watches this video and actually decides they need to take action, they need to quit, and they need to set a course for their life so that they don't end up working for the post office for the rest of their life, then I'll feel like I've made an impact. I love y'all boys. I promise the best decision you'll ever make is to quit the gas and start the path towards your new life. Stop waiting. Take action now. I love y'all boys. Stay aggressive.